Hey everybody, so today we're going to be doing something a little different. Disclaimer, I am fully aware that this is a massive departure from any of the other content on this channel, um, but I was given the advice recently that I should nerd out on things a little bit more, and I thought this would be a fun way to do it because um, one of the things I happen to be interested in is cologne and fragrances. So I thought I'd make a video. I thought this would be a fun thing to do where I walk you through and I give a review on all of the colognes, all of the fragrances in my collection. Um, it's not going to be in any particular order, but I'm going to try and go through all of them um, so that if they're the same house, like the same brand, or from the same line, stuff like that, we'll do those together. And I'll put a little bit of information on the screen about each one. All right, so let's get started. All right, we're gonna start with this bad boy right here. This is Versace Blue Jeans. Um, this is a fun fragrance. It's good for warmer weather, especially in the spring and summer. It's got a nice, fresh, spicy opening. There's a nice hint of citrus, a couple different kinds of citrus, probably bergamot. There's like a bit of a there's a interesting spice with this fragrance because it has like a basil kind of note. Very interesting. Not something I reach for very often because I don't like fragrances that are super spicy. But interesting nonetheless. Very well blended. Very much of an old school kind of fragrance for men. This is I think came out in the 90s. But yeah, a fun one. Not my favorite, but a good fragrance nonetheless. All right, so this is our next Versace fragrance. This is Versace The Dreamer. This is a newer one in my collection. Um, it's a nice fragrance, again, very classically masculine. Has a very strong, I think, tobacco blossom note. Gives it an almost soapy vibe. Again, very classically fresh masculine scent. A little powerful too. It's a bolder fragrance than I would normally go for. That's why it's not something I reach for super often, but a very nice scent nonetheless. Um, so yeah, I don't think we have anything else for Versace, but I will take a look. All right, so technically I kind of lied to you there because we do have one more. This is technically not Versace. It's Alt Lust. Um, it is a clone of Versace Eros. Um, so you get everything you would get with Versace Eros: strong vanilla, kind of musky, a little bit of citrus in there, a little bit of woodier notes, I think. I'd have to look at the scent profile. Not something I go for all the time. I only got this because it was super on sale. I got it for almost nothing, I think. I might have even gotten it for free. I can't remember. Um, but there's a reason Versace Eros gets hyped up so much. I mean, this is a good fragrance. The Alt brand, I have one other one from Alt that we'll get to when we get there. Um, they make really good dupe fragrances. They're like 90 to 95% the same, I would say, as the original. I've smelled the original Versace Eros. Um, Good fragrance. Hard to go wrong with this. It just gives off, it's very common among guys who like to go to the club and stuff like that, which is very much not me. So, not something I reach for very frequently. Good for colder weather, though. All right, so I figured we would knock the other Alt fragrance out now. This is Alt Blue. It's the same thing as Bleu de Chanel. I've smelled the original Bleu de Chanel. I've worn it before. It smells, yeah, like 90 to 95% the same. I love this. This is probably, I would say, my signature scent. It's my go-to when I don't um, know what I want to wear. So hard to go wrong with this. Such a great men's fragrance, all-time classic. Um, Nice citrus, incense, woody blend. Oh, this is just a delightful fragrance. If you've never had a bottle or tried Bleu de Chanel, it's in every retail store that sells cologne. You got to try it. I would highly suggest you get your hands on a bottle of it, or just an alt version of it, or some other dupe of Bleu de Chanel. There's tons of them out there. I know some of the Middle Eastern brands make dupes of Bleu de Chanel, so easy to get your hands on. I highly recommend. Highly recommend. All right, so this next one, this is a bit of an oddball in my collection. This is Gray Flannel by Jeffrey Bean. Oh, yeah, there is nothing else I have even remotely like this. I've never smelled anything like this before. Very strong green powdery scent. This is a very barber shoppy kind of scent. There's a strong violet note in there too. And if I remember correctly, as it dries down, you get more of that green, more of that violet, a little bit less of that baby powder kind of scent. Smells very good. I love this scent, but it's very much an acquired taste. This is not something I wear out almost ever, because it is, well, it's an acquired taste. This is hate it or love it kind of stuff right here. Um, but this is a classic, and you can pick bottles up of this for like $10. Um, Hard to go wrong with, especially if you have a fragrance collection. Would highly recommend you get your hands on a bottle of this because it's so unique, such a classic men's fragrance. I think this came out in like the 70s, so it's been around for quite a while. But yeah, Gray Flannel, Jeffrey Bean. All right, next up we got another cheapie here. This is Liz Claiborne Lucky Number 6 for men. Again, this is something you could pick up for like 10, $15. This is super slept on. Yeah, it's got, oh, this is a classic scent. It's got some nice woody notes. There's a little bit of amber in there. And there's a really strong and prominent plum note that gives it a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of fruitiness. Oh yeah, this is probably the single most slept on fragrance I have ever had the pleasure of smelling. I mean, it's fantastic. It's so good for the price. I mean, this is bang for your buck taken to the upper limit. This is fantastic. I would highly recommend if you are starting a fragrance collection, if you really like fruity scents, woody scents, gotta get a bottle of this. There's no reason not to. They're like 10, $15, and for what you're getting, it's fantastic. Would highly recommend. All right, next up, this is something very different. We've got Halloween Man X. This is a very interesting scent. It's newer in my collection, so not something I've had a lot of time to sit with. Yeah, very much different from anything else I have. Nice, warm, spicy fragrance. Actually, not even too spicy, just kind of warm. It has a bit of like a whiskey note, I think, or some other kind of alcohol. And then it's got this interesting, like, bitter coffee note that I've never smelled anything like that before. Um, I'll have to give this a little bit more wear in the cold months this year. So, yeah, I don't have a. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. It's a little bit off-putting almost to me. The coffee note is a little bitter, and it almost has this metallic touch to it. I want to say there's actually some kind of metallic note in this or something. Yeah, very interesting. Unlike anything else I've ever smelled for sure. Um, yeah, I'm not settled on how I feel about this fragrance. It's okay. I just haven't sat with it enough to give it a good rating, but very interesting scent nonetheless. All right, next up we got an absolute classic. This is Cool Water by Davidoff. This is a classic men's fragrance. I want to say this came out in the 80s. Oh, this is delightful. It's what I'm wearing right now. Actually, I put this on after I got out of the shower. Um, it's a beautiful, beautiful, slightly aquatic green scent. I mean, this is stuff. This is daily wear kind of stuff, and it's so cheap. Again, you can find this at like CVS because it's been around forever. You can get a bottle of this like anywhere. You can probably find it at Walmart. It's so good. It's got this slightly sweet edge to it as well. I assume there's probably some floral notes in there that are giving it that. I don't know that for sure. I'd have to look at the scent profile, but beautiful green, aquatic, slightly floral scent. Oh, this is a masterpiece. Would highly recommend you get yourself a bottle of this, especially since you can find it anywhere for a good price. So yeah, Davidoff Cool Water. All right, I have a few other Davidoff colognes that I also quite like. This is Davidoff's The Game. It has like a poker chip top, which I love. They used to actually sell it in a full bottle that was all like poker chips, but you can't get that anymore. At least it's more expensive to get that. Um, this is a very interesting fragrance. Again, very slept on. I think Davidoff as a whole, as a company, as a brand, is very slept on. They're extremely well known for cool water, but they have a lot of other good, really good scents, I would say, especially for the price you can get them at. Yeah, so this is the game. This is gin and like juniper berries, I think, off the top. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, yeah, I think so. And nice, sweet, aromatic, woody fragrance. I know it's a much woodier base after you wear it for a while. Very nice scent. Pretty versatile too, I would say. You could rock this pretty much any time of the year, minus maybe there are better choices for the fall, and I think it would probably be a little much in really high heat, but I think you could rock this most of the time if you wanted to. This is one you'd almost have to blind buy because you're not going to find this in stores typically. But again, pretty cheap, around the $20 mark, so hard to go wrong. Smells really nice. Davidoff, the game. All right, next in our line of Davidoffs, this is Davidoff Adventure. Again, this cologne is super slept on. This is a fantastic warm weather scent. Oh, it's so nice. It's got this nice citrus opening, and then it dries down. It's got a little bit more of a peppery vibe going on. There's a little bit of a fresh, spicy thing going on. And it's got a nice black tea note. I'm a huge fan of any fragrance that utilizes a good tea note. Um, yeah, this is so good. So slept on. Great warm weather fragrance. Um, you could even wear it in the fall. Winter, it's a little fresh to be wearing in the winter, but again, you could wear it most of the time. Um, yeah, this was my signature scent for a while. In the spring until I switched off to a couple other things, and we'll get to those. But yeah, Davidoff Adventure, fantastic underrated scent. All right, to close out our Davidoffs, this is Zeno by Davidoff, which was named after the founder. The guy's name was Zeno Davidoff. And this was, I think, the last fragrance he made before he died. I'd have to check up on that. This is another classic, came out in the 80s. I love this scent. This is a fantastic cold weather scent. It's so good, dude. It's got this nice woody opening. It's got this creamy floral heart. I mean, this is just a classic masculine scent. I wouldn't say it's super barbershoppy because there's not really a whole lot of citrus going on. But, aromatic, woody, and that nice creamy floral heart. And it's got some sweet patchouli in there as well. Oh, this is a great scent. Again, super slept on, as are most things in the Davidoff line outside the cool water stuff. So, and its various flankers. Yeah, great scent. Would highly recommend for cold weather. This was my signature scent for the winter that we just had. Great, fantastic, loved it. All right, next up we got the absolute classic, Acqua di Gio. This is, of course, it needs no introduction. This is the most sold men's fragrance in the world. I mean, what else is there to say about it? I mean, nice citrus open, got that like Mediterranean vibe. Nice, very well blended, complex, slightly, sweet floral heart that kind of complements the citrus. I got this as a gift. It was like the second or third cologne I think I ever owned. The first was Nautica Voyage, but I don't have that anymore. And I think the other one was this, although I might have had something else in there. And for a long time, I really didn't appreciate this fragrance. It was just like a fresh blast of citrus, and I was like, this is just not for me. And then I started wearing it in the warm weather, and I started wearing it to the gym, and then I like really started to really appreciate the more complex elements of this fragrance. I mean, this is great. This is fantastic. I reach for it anytime the weather gets warm. It gets put into the rotation all the time. Acqua di Gio, I mean, enough said. This is a fantastic scent. Hard to go wrong with this. I would say it's more expensive because it is a pretty high quality fragrance, but again, this stuff has just been around forever, so you can get it at a pretty good price. Again, pretty limited to warm weather as well. I wouldn't wear this outside of spring and summer unless I was going to the gym. But yeah, I mean, just fantastic. All right, another fresher scent here. We have Penguin, Penguin's original blend. This is one I blind bought. And I'll be honest, just kind of meh. There's not a whole lot to write home about this fragrance. Slightly fresh, slightly spicy, and it's got a little this weird powderiness to it. I normally like a good powdery scent, but with it being mixed with this fresh, spicy kind of thing that's going on, it's got this like apple note in the top as well. Um, it's just odd. It's just an odd combination of like oils and notes. It's just weird. Not bad. If you really like fresh, spicy scents and you like powdery scents, maybe this is for you. But I don't know. I find the way it's been blended to be just kind of, I wouldn't say off-putting because it's still, it's okay, but it's just odd. So yeah, Penguin Original Blend. Not much to write home about there, but interesting scent nonetheless. Pretty cheap. You can pick it up in most places. All right, the second entry here I have from Penguin. We've got Penguin's Premium Blend. This is a much nicer scent, in my opinion. This is a very coastal kind of scent. You've got this strong lime peel off the top. I mean, this smells like a trip to the beach, a trip to the seashore. Yeah, it's so hard to go wrong with this. This is another great one for warm weather, super safe, blind buy, pretty cheap as well. I want to say I paid $20 for this. There's probably some other complexities in there, but I can't remember what the scent profile is, and it's hard to get anything else except for that lime and sea air off of the top of this. If I sprayed it, maybe I could. But yeah, Penguin Premium Blend, safe blind buy, good scent. Nothing to write home about though. But yeah, good stuff. All right, next. This is my signature scent and has been my signature scent for the fall and winter for, well, ever since I've gotten it pretty much. This is Burberry London. This is a fantastic scent. I love this scent. It's so good. Um, oh, it's so nice. It's been described as Christmas in a bottle, and I think that's pretty accurate. Um, it's so warm. It's got this nice tobacco and lavender and this cinnamon off the top. And I think there's something else woody in there, like some pine or something to give it that kind of Christmassy vibe. I love this for fall and winter. It doesn't project super heavy, but I'm not someone who loves to be smelled from across the room. So like that doesn't bother me or anything. It's very much limited to the fall and winter, but I don't care. It's so good, dude. Oh, this is an absolute classic. Would highly recommend if you're looking for a good fall and winter scent that you get your hands on a bottle of this. This is good stuff. Burberry London would highly recommend. A little bit more on the expensive end. Most of the Burberry fragrances are, but not too far out of reach either. All right, another one from our Burberry family here. We've got Burberry Brit. This is very much a new fragrance to me. I only got it very recently, so I don't know that I'll have anything crazy to say about it. You can smell it. It's kind of a cousin to Burberry London. It's got that same kind of like sophisticated masculine scent, but still very, very different. This scent is very powdery, and it's also got this really interesting rose note, but it's blended well enough that it doesn't come across as feminine at all. Very sophisticated man kind of scent. My only gripe with this from the little time I've had with it is that it has kind of this strong ginger note off the top, which I'm not a fan of. But other than that, I mean, this is good stuff right here. Once the weather cools off a little bit, I'm going to put this into the rotation more, and maybe I'll have more to write home about after that. But yeah, Burberry Brit. This is a nice fragrance, but haven't sat with it long enough to have much more than just a first impression. Burberry Brit, good stuff. All right, next up, this is one of my I was gonna say my signature scent, but for the spring, but I've kind of switched that out as of recently. But this is the Matcha by Le Monde Gourmand. This is a nice scent, but not much to write home about. It's pretty unisex as well. There's nothing crazy about this. It doesn't. It's pretty linear. It doesn't change as it dries down or anything. It's got this nice amber and a really nice green tea note. Um, and like I said before, anything with a tea note, I am in. Sign me up. Really nice scent. But again, just nothing to write home about. Nothing crazy. It's a pretty small bottle, so I suspect I'll probably have this finished by the end of spring. We'll see though. Um, and I probably won't buy it again. But nice scent, you know, nothing crazy, but good stuff. The matcha, Lemon Gourmand. All right, next I want to talk about what is my current signature scent for the spring. Um, I love this. This is a more recent addition to the collection, but this is Boss Bottled Night by Hugo Boss. Um, I have the tester. I got a tester version because I'm a cheapskate. But oh, I love this scent so much, man. It's so unique to anything else I have too. Um, it's got a nice like violet lavender opening mixed with birch, which is not among, if you're gonna have a woody kind of scent, um, birch is not a common note. It's not a common choice to use, but I think it's used absolutely masterfully here. This fragrance isn't the most complex, especially from Hugo Boss, and the whole bottled line of fragrances are pretty renowned. This one not as complex, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. Oh yeah, that's so good, dude. Oh, I love it. I think it probably performs best probably spring and summer. And although it's supposed to be sort of night themed, I really think it's pretty versatile. I think you could do most seasons, most occasions with this. I think it's probably at its best during like a summer night. You're going out to like a, I don't know. I'm not social enough to know where you would go out on a summer night, but you go out on a summer night with friends. This is definitely the fragrance of choice for me. And I've been wearing it daytime, nighttime in the spring. Great scent. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I think you beware of any extremes with this. I don't think it will perform very well because it's a bit of a subtler fragrance. If you like something that's super loud, this is not going to be that. Um, but it makes a nice scent for in the middle. Because if you get too hot, I think this fragrance will not smell very well. But I think if it gets too cold, it also won't project at all. So, but anything in between, any of the other months, any of the other seasons, this should perform quite well. Very versatile. I love the scent. Hugo Boss Bottled Night. My signature scent for the spring. All right, next up, this is a newer addition to my collection, and I have another version of this as well. And I haven't had a lot of time to sit with it because it's not something that has been, I feel like I've had the occasion to wear it. But this is Rayan Traditions Insurrection 2. This is Insurrection 2 Wild. It's not on the bottle, but that's the version that it is. This is a nice scent. It's very interesting. I had this recommended to me. Yeah, very different from anything else I would have. You get a strong tobacco note here along with honey and vanilla, and that gives it almost a black licorice kind of scent. And I believe this was supposed to be inspired by another niche fragrance that was, I don't know, I can't remember what that fragrance was, but I know it was inspired after that. Some people say it's very similar. Some people say it's not so similar at all. I don't know. I feel like I just haven't had the occasion to wear this. Also, I'm not a super big sweet fragrance person, and that honey note is real strong to me. But I don't know. Maybe I'll break it out one of these, if I go out on one of these nights to, I don't know, do something with friends. Maybe I'll break this out. We'll see. All right, again from Rayan Tradition. Here we have Insurrection 2 Emperor. I remember when I got this bottle, I was a little upset because the cap is like a little bit off, like it messes with the atomizer, so I have to finagle the cap off. But other than that, nice scent. This is probably the most feminine scent I have in my collection. You've got this strong kind of pink pepper and pineapple opening. I would say it's unisex. I've worn it. You can definitely wear it if you're a guy. And it is targeted for men, but I would say this is a pretty feminine leaning fragrance. But again, I would say it's unisex. If you like sweeter fragrances, you like fruity fragrances, this is a great choice. I think it's really well blended. It's really nice. Nice to have in my collection because I don't have anything else like that. I don't go for this kind of thing normally. Um, but I got it on sale on a deal that was hard to pass up. It was like $10, I think. Um, and people had rated it very, very highly. So yeah, good scent, hard to go wrong with, in my opinion. Again, if you like those fruitier scents, you like those more feminine scents, and if you're a woman, even if this is targeted for men, I really think most women could more than get away with wearing this. Um, but take a look at the scent profile and see if that's something you'd be interested in. Good scent. Haven't had a lot of time to sit with it, but good nonetheless. All right, this is everyone's favorite TikTok cologne. I got it before it was popular on TikTok, I'll have you know. This is Afnan 9 p.m. This is one of my few Middle Eastern colognes I have. I don't think this is supposed to be a dupe of anything. But yeah, this is your typical kind of gourmand sweet fragrance. I used to rock this in the winter a lot. I've kind of strayed away from it now, but it's also quite strong, so I do like to use it to freshen up my room sometimes. Um, Super strong cinnamon and vanilla here, kind of just warm, spicy. Yeah, I mean, typical, gourmand kind of scent. I mean, smells good. There's a reason people really like this. It performs very well, lasts a very long time, has a good bit of sillage or whatever you call that, the projection, good bit of projection. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the complexities of this. Again, I'd have to look at the scent profile. It's been a long time. I haven't worn it in quite some time either, because it just hasn't been in my rotation this past winter. So good scent after 9 p.m. Yeah, I know it gets hyped up a lot. I don't think it's anything too crazy, but again, I'm not a super big sweet fragrance fan. And if you are, maybe you'd love it. So yeah, after 9 p.m. Good stuff. All right, this is something different. So we've got Bentley for Men Intense. Yes, Bentley, like the car company. That's same brand. A lot of car companies make fragrances. Funny enough, I guess they contract some fragrance lab to make something for them. I don't know why they do it. I guess it's like a luxury brand thing. Um, but yeah, this is a very interesting scent. Not something I wear almost ever. It's very bold. Oh yeah, it's got this super strong woody scent and just this super strong rum off the top. And after it dries down, it actually has a pretty nice complex woody kind of scent going on. Um, Incense as well, a little bit of leather, very masculine, but just bolder than anything I would want to wear most of the time. Um, Not my favorite, but if you like that kind of thing, this might be for you. And honestly, I haven't, maybe I would love it if I wore it more, and maybe come colder months, I'll break this out a little bit more, and we'll see. So yeah, Bentley for Men Intense, not my favorite, but if you love a good bold masculine fragrance, maybe this is for you. All right, next up we got this one I got as a gift for Christmas this year, which I asked for, but good gift nonetheless. This is Legend Blue by Mont Blanc. I've never smelled any of the other Legend fragrances, so I can't make any of the comparisons there. This is a great scent though. Hard, super safe blind buy. Aromatic, slightly woody. It's got this lavender mint opening. A lot of people describe this as having a very shower gel kind of vibe. I would agree with that. Typical, well, I wouldn't say it's a typical blue fragrance, because this you don't think of like Bleu de Chanel or any of the aqua fragrances necessarily when you think of that when I think of this scent. But good scent nonetheless. Super hard to go wrong with. This is something I like to wear out of the shower a lot, because of that kind of shower jelly vibe it has. Yeah, it has like a kind of woody dry down, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look at the scent profile. It's been a while since I've worn it. Yeah, good scent. Legend Blue Mont Blanc. I would say it definitely lives up to the rest of the legend fragrances, even though I haven't smelled them, I know how highly they're praised. I would say this is definitely in the same ballpark. So good stuff. All right, next up, this is Odyssey Homme White Edition. I almost said Homme, but you know, this is fragrances, so everything's in French and fancy, so it's Homme. Um, this is a clone or dupe of Stronger With You by Giorgio Armani. Yeah, this is a good scent. Also, all the stuff I've had from Armaf, this Middle Eastern brand, I only have one or two. Yeah, I have two. This stuff is so strong. I have put this on clothes and I have had it go through the washer and come out, and I can still smell it on the collar of my shirt. This stuff is strong and it does last incredibly long. Um, Projects very well, of course, as well. All the things that you would attribute to Stronger With You, this smells almost identical, I would say. I think vanilla, kind of gourmand, sweet. I think there's probably some caramel or something in there. Um, haven't worn it in a while. Haven't looked at the what the profile is for Stronger With You or Odyssey Homme for a while. Um, but yeah, this is good stuff. Definitely something I look for in the winter. Again, I'm not a huge sweet fragrance guy. This is one of the first colognes I bought. I want to say it was like the third or fourth one. Um, Good choice for the winter if you like those sweet fragrances, and you don't want to pay the price tag for Stronger With You. This is probably like $20, so it's like what, a fifth of the price. So I would say definitely a good dupe though. Um, Good stuff, even though it's not necessarily my favorite. Super strong. If you love those super heavy fragrances, this is definitely for you. All right, next up, we've got another one in that same line. This is Odyssey Eaude by, again, by Armaf. This is an oud wood fragrance, or I don't know how you pronounce that, OUD. Um, Hitting my mic. This is an incredibly strong fragrance. Super heavy on the oud wood. Very strong incense kind of vibe. Again, extremely strong. Projects super well. Not something I reach for very often because, again, I like my fragrances to be a little bit more understated. I'm very much a proponent of the philosophy of a fragrance should be discovered, not announced, which means I don't reach for stuff like this super often. Also, I just don't love fragrances that are super incense heavy. And again, this was a blind buy, so not something I wasn't sure how heady it was going to be, and it's pretty heavy. But a good scent, and I definitely don't have anything else. I don't have any other oud wood fragrances. So this was definitely a good buy, not something I regret. Yeah, Odyssey Eaude by Armaf. All right, next up, we got something a little different. This is the only Azzaro cologne I have. This is Azzaro Visit. Definitely not one of their well-known fragrances, but I had it recommended to me, and I decided I would get it. I can't even like smell this off the cap. Yep, there it is. Okay. Love this bottle, by the way. The atomizer is actually on the tip of the cone or triangle or whatever you want to call that. So love that, and the top is the button. So got to give them props for that. But yeah, this is a nice scent. I like to break this out fall, spring, occasionally in the summer. This has a very, very dry, spicy opening. And then as it dries down a little bit, it opens up into a little bit of fresh, kind of citrusy. I want to say maybe there's some amber in this. It's been a while since I've smelled it in the dry down. Very good scent. Reminds me, actually, I got a sample of Tom Ford's new fragrance, Bois Pacifique or whatever it was. It was very reminiscent of that for me. Less the Tom Ford one has like a really strong turmeric opening, and it's not as fresh. But I would say this is the same ballpark, woody, spicy, fresh. This is a nice fragrance, very overlooked, very masculine, very much a young man scent. Again, I think it's pretty versatile. I probably wouldn't wear it in the winter because I think that fresh dry down is probably not what you're looking for, but still a great scent, pretty versatile. Hard to go wrong with. Azzaro Visit. All right, now we got the last scent in my collection. Actually, that's not true. I have a dupe of Dior Sauvage in my backpack upstairs that I did not think to bring down here for recording, but it's the alt version of Dior Sauvage. It's everything you would expect with that. Um, you know, I mean, you all know what Dior Sauvage smells like, or even if you don't know that it's Dior Sauvage, you would recognize the smell because it's so widely used. Great scent, 90 to 95% the same as actual Dior Sauvage. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. This is Encre Indigo by Lalique. This is a great scent. I love this scent. I've never smelled the other ones in the Encre line, but I love this. This is my go-to anytime it's a rainy day, because to me it has the same vibe as that smell you get before it rains. I think there's a name for that. I want to say it's petrichor. I think. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or if that is correct, but that's the vibe I get from this. It's like this dark, inky kind of vetiver scent. And it's got this nice, like, warm freshness to it almost. I want to say there's saffron and tea in this, and that elevates it a little bit, gives it a little bit of green, kind of slightly blue warmth to the like inky vetiver scent. I love this. It's such a mysterious scent. That's the vibe you get from this. I love this. 10 out of 10. Fantastic release from Lalique. I waited for a while to get my hands on this because it was pretty expensive. But eventually I just splurged when it dropped below $60 and I got this. Yeah, fantastic scent. I mean, I've never smelled a scent that is better for a rainy day than this. I mean, this is just off the charts. Beautiful, complex, well blended. Just an enjoyable, masculine, deep masculine scent. I mean, hard to go wrong with this, in my opinion. If you don't like vetiver, this is probably not for you. But other than that, I mean, this is fantastic. Encre Indigo by Lalique. All right, and with that, that is all of the fragrances currently in my collection. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I know this is a massive departure from my normal content, and don't worry, that will be back next week. I'm not planning to turn this into, the Jeremy Fragrance channel, but I thought this would be fun to do, and I was encouraged to nerd out a little bit more, and this happens to be one of the interests I nerd out on. This MMA, martial arts, racing, exercise, I don't know, anything in that domain too, but this was a super easy video to make and something I'd been kind of floating around in my head for a while anyway. So I hope you enjoyed. I think this was a fun time. I will see you next week with something a little bit more typical, probably philosophy or something. I haven't settled on a topic, but I have plenty to choose from, so something in that domain. And I hope you all have a great week. I pray for all of you genuinely, and I pray that you are blessed beyond belief. Bye.